All right, then. Oh my God, I kind of have a little bit of a headache from those bubbles.
You do?
Can you see my shoes? Because that's all that matters.
Do you need candy? Sometimes that can cure all your ailments.
Oh.
This is our medicine.
Okay.
Cute shoes. Yeah,
Thank
put them
you.
up.
I'm just going to keep them right here.
They're still not in the... Oh, they're in that one.
They're in that one, so... This is how I'm going to be sitting today because
So
everyone
cute.
needs to see these shoes.
Look at the coordination between the stripe and the shoe.
I mean, this is what I do.
This is next level.
I am the fashionista
The fashionista.
of Astro Candy Land.
Of Astro Candy Land.
Yeah,
Yes.
because Astro World, remember,
Yeah,
we,
no.
we cannot compete with Travis Scott. All rights reserved to him.
Oh, wait, what? I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Anyway. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Astro Candy.
Hey, guys.
We are a couple rosé glasses in, so that's why we're a little bit
You're welcome.
spacey.
Oh.
Yep, I did that.
Cute.
But anyway, so how are you, Brittany? Let's actually no.
Fabulous.
So my mom watches, and she gave me some critiques about what she would like to see on the show,
Oh,
and
I'm
she said that
scared.
before we hop into vibe check, she's like, you guys like take too long to get into what you're talking about, so you need to let people know what you're going to be talking about before you go on a tangent. So
Okay.
coming up on the show, we're talking about how
Coming
to
up.
vet potential friends, partners, whatever it is. Like the people
Mm-hmm.
who come into your life, how can you tell if they're good news or bad news? It can be hard to tell
This is
sometimes.
the
So we're going to
question.
talk about that. We've got a spirit guide coming up as far as it pertains to rejection, which we've
Mm-hmm.
all been there, done that. And of course, our modern day mantra. So that's our show for today. We'll get into all that. But right now, it's a vibe check. And also shout out to Mom. Hey, Mom. Woo! How
I
are you
like it.
feeling, Brittany?
Feeling great.
Good. Tell me more.
Feeling good. The vibe is high.
High vibes.
I feel like I've had some good vibes lately,
I think
to
our
be honest.
vibes get higher as the
But
drinks
once you have
keep
a couple
going.
of these.
Yeah,
That is
but
true.
anyway.
Very accurate. The vibe is good, just works good. Creativity's good. The flow is good. Doing my usual Virgo hermit lifestyle. So, I mean, I don't really have a lot to complain about. I feel
Would
like
you classify Virgo as hermit?
Virgo is the hermit of the zodiac.
I did
yeah.
not know that.
They
so
go within.
They actually have the hermit card. Like, is that
That's their
attached to
card.
them? We should do each zodiac sign and what their
fun.
card
Yes,
is.
yes,
That would
yes,
be
yes.
fun. What do you know Aquarius off the top by chance?
No, but I can know that by the end of this episode.
Okay, that'd be great. Would love to know what I am because, I'm self-absorbed. No, just kidding.
No.
I know. Maybe a little bit. Like, let's be honest. Aren't we all? My vibe is good. Yeah, like just taking everything day to day. Really no complaints.
That's good.
Yeah, life is good. I mean, that's all I got. So I'm
Wow.
a woman of few words today.
I mean, sometimes no news is good news, as they say.
It's so true.
I bring you the grandma quotes.
I always, yeah, didn't you do one last episode too? And I was like, whoa, where did that come from?
Probably.
Piddling.
Oh, wait, yours is the
She
star.
pinned piddling.
Yeah, I do. Exactly.
The star?
The star
I
card.
feel like that's so relevant to
so good.
Aquarians.
Oh, wait, yeah, because we're talking about zodiac signs. Anyway, I agree with you that we should do a future one. So you guys, if you want to know what tarot card your sign is associated with, let's all do that together. That sounds so much fun. Like so much fun. Yeah, okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Whew. Gotta put that down. I'm trying to not to hermit on camera.
Yeah, please don't because we
Start
need you here. We
researching.
need you present. We need all of your extrovert vibes at this moment. Did you just smack yourself in
I
the
gotta get back. I went into hermit mode. You guys, I can't help it. It's just my card. It's my vibe. It's my energy.
Okay. Well, what does the star signify?
The star is like the wish fulfillment card. It's hope. It's joy. It's different than the sun
God.
because the star is a little more like ethereal energy. Truly wish fulfilled hope.
So does that
The
mean
North
that anyone
Star-
who meets me feels like, I'm their dream come true?
If you twinkle upon them.
Okay, well.
If you decide that you don't like them though, and you're a falling star, or they burn out and become a black hole, then maybe
wow.
no. So that's, oddly enough, that's what we're talking about today.
That is what we're talking about today.
I tried to do it tying. I don't know if it worked.
It did the job. Like, I would give it
I
6
get
out
it.
of 10.
Okay, better than 3.
Than 3. Yeah. 3 more. 3, 6, 9. Tesla.
Another future episode.
Anyway, I think we're maybe a little distracted today.
We're on a roll today.
If you can tell. And I blame it on the rosé, which is what
That's
He'll
what I
always
brought.
blame everything on. Yeah. Shout out Brittany, who she just keeps this place fully stocked with rosé and champagne, and she just
I feel like it's my personal,
keeps it flowing.
I feel like it's my job, you know, and I'm happy to do it.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you. So we're switching things up a little bit today because this was not actually the original topic. We were going to talk about something else, but we're going to save that. We're going to bank that, put it in our piggy bank.
Literally bank it because it is about negotiation and moolah,
And
guys.
the money, which we know you like to talk about, we like to talk about. But today we're going to talk about vetting friends and just like the people that you come into contact with on a regular basis, and how you can tell if they're good news or bad news. And before we get in on how to and like our thoughts, do you think you're good at this or bad at this?
So I identify personally as an HSP, highly sensitive person.
What the?
I know, that's for another episode.
Oh my gosh. I'm not all here for all those abbreviations. Okay, highly sensitive person.
So I'm like, I feel super intuitive and empathetic. So yes, I think I can read people very well. However, as soon as I read someone, it doesn't register in my brain to like, okay, now make decisions based on this knowledge that you have and protect yourself or not. No, I'm like, oh, I see this, and then I see that about them, and I think that, like, you know, everyone has good and bad, and I'm not good at making decisions based off of it.
Well, I'm not good either. So are we going to be good to tell people, like,
I think because
what's
of that,
up?
We are good at this. And
okay, I see what you did there.
But honestly, it's true, because I think that you actually are good at it.
See, it's interesting that you think I'm good, because I think I'm bad, and here's why. I have this tendency to see all of the red flags. I see them all up front. I'm I like to say that you have my trust until you lose it, and that is pretty much true, but I am so critical of you in those moments. Like, I'm actually just waiting for you to drop the ball and lose my trust. If that makes sense. Yeah, so it truly is like you have my trust until you don't, but I'm sitting here like with binoculars, like watching your every move, making sure you don't break my trust.
I'm glad I just found this out, you guys, because if not, I'd be really self-conscious about Raven.
Well, I think I vetted
is she
you
gonna
fine.
hate me?
No, like we're past that process.
Oh, thank God.
We're here now. I think, what has it been, like 2 years?
We've made it, Astro.
A year and a half? Yeah,
That's true.
I think we got this.
She would have found out by now if I was
would
crazy.
have, I think. I don't know. Now I'm worried.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, so anyway, what I'm getting at is I see all these red flags, but instead of listening to them, then I kind of do what you do, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe I should give them the benefit of the doubt. Or they will do something good, and so then I use that to swing the pendulum in, oh, maybe they are good.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but my friend Alyssa has told me this. Like, there have been so many people in my life that could have been avoided if I just would have, like, shut them down sooner. You know?
Yep. I had a couple of friends tell me something similar a few months ago, like just kind of on the other side of like a breakup. I'm in a new phase of my life, happy with someone, like engaged, like, but these women had not weighed in on anything like romantic in my life since like way back when I was going through some difficult times. Anyway, both of them mirrored the same kind of sentiment. And they were like, you know, Britt, you're just so nice, and we just wish you wouldn't be like that. And at first I was like, ooh,
Wouldn't be like what?
Like allow people to walk all over me.
Oh.
And they both said that, and they meant well. They are really good friends, and they've never been anything but wonderful. And I was just like, whoa. And it really just like hit me hard because I trust both of them. And I was like, wow, okay. So this is something that I really need to look at. You know, because some people say things and you're just like, whatever. And then some people say things and you're like, okay.
Yeah,
it
just depends on who is saying and how close they are to you. And that's what happened with my friend Alyssa. I was talking to her about someone who was like a potential friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, but here's like the hangups. And she's like, Raven, these are red flags. And so what you do now is you don't proceed. Like you don't try to continue. Like, you don't try to be friends with this person. You just let it go.
Can you tell us the level of these red flags? Because I feel like Alyssa's our virtual spirit guide on this episode because she's really the one who's like advising us on this. But what were they like?
It was just like I learned about their past. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so it was like, okay, do I want that in my present and possibly future? And I know I'm being so vague and I hate
She's
that.
being very elusive.
I really don't want to be, but it's just like super, like a fresh wound right now.
It's a fresh wound?
Yeah, it just happened. And so I don't want to.
Was this an almost friend or was this a friend that you then?
No, this is an almost friend, like
You're not a
somebody,
friend with
like a
anymore.
potential friend. But I just learned something and I was like, okay, I don't think this is somebody that I should have in my life. And that's okay. Like, that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just means like it's not a good fit. And I just don't want it like mucking up my life, which is what these relationships tend to do. And here's an example I can give that's a little more specific. But basically, I was new friends with this girl who I had worked with. And she was just like very young. So young and very like I don't want to be like, it's definitely a stigma like young and dumb, but you know, like
She had a lot to learn, probably.
a lot to learn. We were in
Personally,
very different places in our lives.
yeah.
Like I had kind of like been there, done that. She was still like right there doing that.
Right.
And so I was like, is this somebody I want to, you know, have in my life? And I tried to keep it in a way that was like, well, you know, this can just be like a friend that you just have fun with. Or, you know, you try to set those boundaries in place. But I couldn't for some reason. Like, she just, like, kept, you know, wanting to get closer and closer and closer. Just, like, she considered me, like, her really good friend. And we had known each other for, like, 5 minutes. Aww. And so, yeah. And so it was just, like, I don't know, little things like that where it was, like, I was trying to tread lightly. And then ultimately it just didn't work out because she got very... this is kind of weird, but she got kind of clingy as a friend.
Yeah, no,
in a way that was like, you're not giving me, like, we had really only been friends for like 3 months and I couldn't make her birthday party. And she was like, I'm like so mad at you, you know? And it was like, okay, 3 months and 1 day ago, I had no idea who you were. So, like, I'm sorry I can't make your birthday. I'm sorry I don't want to drive 2 hours to this, like, lake or whatever. But I'm not going to go. And so it was, like, things like that where it was like, okay, maybe I should have vetted this person better. But I didn't. And I don't know why.
I think we all do that sometimes. It's, like, a compatibility thing, too. Like, I think at the end of the day, we can really like and appreciate a lot of people. Like, especially us, like, we meet so many people at our jobs. Like,
yeah,
I appreciate so many kinds of people. Like, I think everyone has a gift. Everyone has their own thing, and that's wonderful. And I like to see that. I like to get to know it. At the same time, we're all so individual, and, like, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to, on a day-to-day basis, have a similar rhythm with someone.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Maybe you don't want to talk on the phone as much as they do, or maybe you're really independent, and they like to give their opinion on things. Like, a million different things can happen, and I feel like when you go slower in any relationship, romantic, friendship, work relationship, it just gives you time to kind of like
figure it out.
And then you don't hurt anybody's feelings.
True.
Like, and that's weird because I was never like this in my life. Like, this is honestly a first. I think I've been like this for 2 months. So I'll let you guys know if I'm still like this in a little bit. I'm trying out a new lifestyle. But I feel like pumping the brakes with people can be good. And especially if it's not your natural way, because it can help just keep everybody feeling
that's a really good
appreciated.
Point. Yeah.
Without having to, you know.
And I think like pumping the brakes is essentially just like setting a boundary. Like just not doing too much too soon with any one person. And it could be a coworker, or it could be just like somebody you met, like a friend of a friend, or it could be a potential relationship. Like you said, just anybody, like, let's not like dive into anything because you still have to see. And it's so weird to say because it's like, usually you think about these things in terms of dating relationships, right? You're always so cautious when it comes to dating relationships. Well, I am anyway. But friendships, I'm like more lenient, but maybe it shouldn't necessarily be that way because Brittany is totally right. You have to see how you jive on the day-to-day. And sometimes, and it's okay, but sometimes people are just better off as acquaintances. They're better off as people that you see, you know, once every 3 months, once every 6 months, just that person that you happen to know. And that's totally fine. Like, not everybody has to be your best friend.
Right.
Not everybody has to come over to your house for drinks or to watch The Bachelor. Like, and that's okay.
Yeah, and just because it's not like that, just because you guys aren't best friends doesn't mean there has to be like a feud.
Yeah.
Or like you don't like them. Or like, you know, and like the worst thing that I've seen still, even like at our age, like even with jobs and real lives, is like the gossip factor. Like I cannot stand it. It is so ridiculous. And I hate when people get into it. And like, I don't know. I just like that's such an immaturity. So like when I've been friends with people and they really get into the gossip thing, I'm like, oh, wow, no. Like I don't want to hang out with this group. Because you know as soon as you leave, they're doing it to you.
I know.
It's just not a good energy.
I know.
Like, whatever.
It's tough. Like, I just feel like every single one of my friendships is like flooding into my mind and acquaintanceships. And yeah, I think the best thing to do in all scenarios is just really know what your boundaries are so you don't get sucked into whatever it is. So for example, you said that the second people start gossiping, that's when you're like, yep, this isn't the group for me.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is that's your boundary. Where Brittany would go wrong is if, you know, people start gossiping and she's like, ew, this isn't for me, but I'm going to still hang out with these people. I'm still going to water this friendship. That's where I have hang-ups all the time, because it's like you see the red flag, whatever it is, and instead of being like, yeah, I'm going to pass. Thank you, but no thank you. I just am like, well, and I just see it through. Yeah. And it always bites me.
Right. Because you do know deep down.
You do.
We all know. And that's where I think like this is going to sound super cheesy, but that's where being your own best friend, I think, comes into play. So like do your natal chart, like I'm serious. This is Astro Candy, guys. Like get to know yourself. Like, who am I? What are the things that drive me? What do I need to feel fulfilled? Once you know that and you really spend time alone, time alone is like amazing. The more time you spend alone, the more you get comfortable with spending time alone. And then you don't have a need. So the floodgates aren't open. Yeah, you're not like just letting anyone into your inner circle. And this is hard-won knowledge. Like, I'm not just saying this because like I'm a closed-off person. I had to learn this the hard way.
I'm still learning.
We're all still learning.
Tough.
We're all still learning.
We're all still noobs. But yeah, I totally understand. Getting to know yourself is important, probably the most important. And it's like, well, how do you get to know yourself? For me,
great question.
I like to journal. Like me just writing down my thoughts. I answer so many of my own questions just by that like continuous train of thought. It's always very productive for me. Some people meditate. Some people do forms of exercise, like whatever it is. I think it should really just be a form of quiet time. Hello, can you wake up because I need you? Like, hi.
Oh my God.
We have to do more stuff. If you could maybe not. Well, did you die?
Maybe. You guys, this is so fun though. Now we're just like,
oh no, it's awake.
Totally off the cuff. Oh,
it's awake.
It's awake.
Off the cuff. We need to do spirit guide and I have to read that person's thing.
Yeah. Sorry guys.
Oi, oi, oi.
See, my ADD.
Anyway, so this is.
How do you feel about all this, Raven?
How do you feel about all what?
All the info.
All the info?
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like this is something that I just need to work on. Like, I don't feel like an expert in this at all because sorry. I don't feel like an expert in this at all because I just I struggle with it, you know? And so I don't want to sit here and preach because I'm like going through it. So if you feel like you kind of suck at like vetting people or you're too lenient with people, whatever it is, like I'm right there with you. So we're in this together.
And I've been burned, so I'm great at it now.
I know, like I've been burned and like I think I'm finally getting to that point where I'm like, okay, Raven, we can't keep learning the same lesson over and over. And they say that like the universe will send you the same lesson as a test. Like, hey, did you learn this lesson or not? Anyway, so let's put that in our back pocket and move on to spirit guide. This one's like short, simple, sweet. Here it is. What is the best way to move past rejection? Try again. I've been doing that with no luck. How can I make rejection suck less? Oh my gosh. Rejection's the worst, no matter what it is. No matter if it's in like a dating relationship, if it's at work, you know, like maybe you got turned down for that promotion or I don't know. There's a million ways you can get rejected, even on little things day to day. Like if you're like, hey, do you want to go to a movie like with your friend? And they're like, no. And you're like,
no. We hate you.
I was just rejected.
Instead of crying.
What's advice moving forward?
Channel your 9 of Pentacles energy. I love this card. It's like a woman by herself with all these pentacles around her, a yellow sky, which is like a sign of hope, a little birdie on her hand. And this is basically just a reminder from the universe that when you're rejected, it has nothing to do with you. You have so many gifts and things in your life that...
So much going for you.
Yeah, it's like no matter who you are, you have amazing things in your life. And you have to just see them. Sometimes we don't see them. And so we're looking outside of us and we want approval. And the truth is, that's fleeting anyway. It doesn't matter. Like these people that come and go, if you get praise today, you're going to want more of it tomorrow. So the real gifts come from within. So nurture your creativity, nurture your money, like get your bag. Like this is what this woman is doing and she's happy and no one else is in the picture here.
Who said it? I'm not sure who. I'm sure you can just like quick Google it, but rejection is actually just redirection. I think that's so true. It took me a really long time to actually figure that one out. And I always say like, even if I haven't been rejected just yet, in whatever scenario, I'm always like, well, this or something better. Like the universe is not just going to give you crap. Like
this or something
it's
better.
not like, just be careful not to hold on to whatever it is, thinking like this is as good as it's going to get, because truly it'll be this or it'll be something absolutely like mind blowing. You couldn't even think of it yourself better.
Yep.
And like I said, rejection, redirection, and it's usually redirecting you to that something better. So.
And how many times has that happened for you in your life, Raven?
Every fucking day.
Same.
Like every day do I get like turned around, like actually no, like point this direction, now this way, that way. And you kind of have to go with the flow, which is really hard for someone like me who is a control freak. Like I love to be in control of myself, my life. If I could, would control people and circumstances and situations. And
we'd all be bots.
Truly, if I had it my way, you would just be AI right now. And you would say the things I want you to say. I'm just kidding. But I'm really not, because like I have such a hard time relinquishing control. I do. What?
Sorry,
okay?
It just made me laugh. Yeah.
Okay, please don't.
I don't want to spit out the champagne or the whatever.
Whatever it is.
Astro Candy brand rosé that we're manifesting.
Yeah.
Gosh, anyway.
Exactly. That's our current manifestation. But it's hard for me it's hard to follow direction from the universe when I want to be in total control. But you know, we're just co-pilots here.
I like that
in
co-pilot thing. That's good. And I think that life at the end of the day requires an insane amount. I mean, almost like psychologically unhealthy amount of self-love and self-belief.
Yeah.
And I think that's just true. I mean, you don't want to be crazy. Like, you're going to take feedback from others, but don't ever let it get all the way into where you start to question your worth or yourself or your choices, because you really are the co-pilot, you and God, you and the universe, whatever you identify with. And that's the path. So these people that are going to come in and out, whatever they say, if you get rejected, there could be something around the corner. They are not the end all be all of your life. Nothing really is.
It is hard though, because like
strap in, time to go.
I'm easily like swayed, you know?
Oh my gosh, we all are. How do you think I came up with this theory? Like, because
oh my God.
They don't like me.
Yeah, that's how I feel though. Like I'm easily like, I don't know, when people maybe, for example, like reject an idea. So this right now, Astro Candy itself has been a passion project. I've put my blood, sweat, and tears into this, and I've had, you know, some people disagree with it. And I'm just like, that, and you know, that's just like something that I should just brush off, but you can't help sometimes but take it to heart and be like, oh my God, I feel so personally rejected by this person who means a lot to me, and you know, whatever it is. But
yeah, Raven, well, that's
God,
normal.
I feel like I'm doing a lot of inner work on this episode and I don't love it.
Well, and if you guys are interested in that, refer back to our episode on shadow work. We're going to link it up here ever since I learned to do the card thing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, oh.
whatever that is. That's Brittany's territory.
But the shadow thing is real.
Yeah, shadow work definitely
This is
real,
part of the
and we
blessing.
totally encourage you to go do that because you'll figure out a lot and you'll change your life doing so. Another life changer is this Monday mantra, which I think is so relevant to any circumstance, situation, life event, whatever it is. Know your worth and then add tax. Okay?
Slow clap.
Like, let's just take a moment. In like layman's terms, in literal terms, people price out items and then it's taxed, right? They're like, this is how much it is, and then we're gonna tax you on top of that, and then people pay for it because they're like, okay,
They really do.
that's how much it's worth. I want it still, so I'm gonna pay this much. Why don't we do that for ourselves and the people in our lives and just, you know, like standing in our own worth and being like, if you want to be part of my life, this is what it's, I don't want to be like, this is what it's going to cost you.
So it's going to cost you, to be honest.
But truly,
Well,
if you want to have me,
you got to pay up. No, but energetically pay up. You've got to be respectful. You've got to be kind. You've got to be a true friend or or a coworker I can count on and actually speak to, and we can have a mutual back and forth. For sure. I don't think any of this is too much to ask. And unfortunately, because of the way that we can be, I think all of us have this in us. Like, we get something that we love or that we want, and we're like, okay, this is so good, I don't want to mess it up. And once we get there, we like lose our power. But our power is what got us there in the first place. So then you have to start kind of like jumping off cliffs. Now, not to like a ridiculous
God, that scared me, and I was just thinking about it.
Put on like your little pack, you know, like don't just jump, but like if you think everything through and you have enough of a safety net, or you know what you would do if this happened and you could, you know, justify that being okay, then I say don't be afraid to push yourself and don't be afraid to expect a little bit more if you really feel it's important to you. And only you know what that is. So
yes, you determine your worth. That's another thing, like a whole nother scenario, which I'll just touch on. You determine your worth, not someone else. So don't let anybody tell you, you know, this is how much we're going to pay you, or if it's at a job, or like, this is what I'm going to give you in this relationship. No. I'll tell you what I expect, and you'll either meet those expectations or I'm out. So we'll leave you with that to chew on. Thank you so much for tuning into Astro Candy. If you like this episode, please like it. Subscribe to us on YouTube, all the different ways you can listen to us in audio form. And we're running out of time, so I'm just going to say bye. See you next week.
Bye. Cheers. We love you.
Later.
Happy boundary setting. You've got this.
Hey!
Yay.
That was good. I was like, I can just see it. It's going.